Hi everyone, my name's Jennifer, and today we're talking about pumpkins and how your home appliances can make your fall baking season quicker and easier. So when it comes to pumpkins, there are usually two types that you're gonna see. There's your classic jack-o'-lantern style pumpkin, and then you'll also see these smaller pumpkins. The big difference between these two style of pumpkins, besides obviously the size, is that these smaller pie pumpkins, or sometimes they're called sugar pumpkins, have a much denser flesh inside of them, and they also have a lower moisture content, which means that they're gonna cook a lot faster and get a more robust pumpkin flavor out of purees made from them. It can be kind of time consuming, and that's where a convection oven or convection range is gonna really come in handy, because the fan moves that hot air through the oven, making sure that there's a more even heat distribution, and it also increases how quickly that food is going to cook because it has constant hot air moving around it. When you're baking something like a pumpkin that's going to take a long time, convection will help cut that time frame down because there's more air circulation around it, and so it's going to bake faster. So when you're making puree at home, the first thing you're gonna do is cut your pumpkin in half. I usually recommend cutting over from the stem, otherwise it's really tough to get through. Scoop out your seeds. We're going to use them later. You can discard them, or you can rinse them and make toasted pumpkin seeds, which I usually like to do. Once you have your seeds removed, you're gonna wanna scrape all of this stuff out of the inside of it. I usually like to just use a spoon and just kind of run along the inside of the pumpkin. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just wanna make sure you get most of that gunk out of there, because that will kind of burn up in the oven if there's a little bit left behind. Once you have your pumpkin halves cleaned out, you're gonna wanna place them cut side down on a baking sheet. And then we are gonna go ahead and pop these into our convection oven. I like to put them on the middle rack. And I'm going to set this at convection at 375. And we're gonna let these roast on convection for about 40 to 60 minutes. So for the pumpkin seeds that you pulled out, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is give them a really good rinse, kind of get rid of all of this slimy stuff. Once you have them rinsed, you can either let them completely dry and throw them in the oven, or you can parboil them, which I like to do because I think it makes them a little more crispy in the end. I am gonna go over here and use our induction cooktop because it's gonna boil the water a lot faster than a regular electric. And we're gonna let them boil for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So once these have boiled, we're gonna go ahead and take them off the burner, pop them back in that strainer, and go ahead and put them right on our baking sheet. And then I'm gonna go ahead and season them right on the tray with a little bit of oil. And then I personally like salt, pepper, and then a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder. And then we're gonna go ahead and put them right back into the oven. We're able to put them in with the pumpkin because this is on convection, and so it does have that airflow, so they'll both bake at the same time. When it comes to baking with pumpkin, most recipes are gonna call for a pumpkin puree. Usually you can get this at the store, it comes canned, but you can also use these pie pumpkins to make your own pumpkin puree. Convection will help cut that time frame down because there's more air circulation around it, and so it's going to bake faster. So you can start baking sooner.